Okay, we're live. Hello, 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 everyone. I'm back. It's been a while since I've been streaming. And I have no excuse, really. Various reasons. Things get busy. Uh, Depression hits pretty hard sometimes. And, well, sometimes it's just really hard to find a reason to get in front of a bunch of people that are not in the room. So here I am. And today I'm just going to be making some cables. A little backstory to this. Before I knew how to solder, I had one of my friends, solder a bunch of cables for me, guitar cables, and little old me didn't know that you should just have short guitar cables. You don't want long guitar cables. It's bad news. I'll go into that a little bit later. But anyway, I've got these 25-foot lengths of cable that need to be shortened down. So I'm gonna take this big old cable, and maybe another one if I have time. And I've got these Amphenol connectors. These are really great. I don't know if you can see the name on there, Amphenol. Woo. And I've got my soldering station set up down here. Do some soldering. Hopefully you'll be able to see what's going on down here. And we'll end up with some good cables. All right. So first things first, I want to measure out about 6 foot per cable. And I've got one end still on here from before. I took the other end off for reasons that I do not remember, but anyway, that saves me a connector. I'm gonna take this cable and hopefully I can make about 5 cables out of it. And I'm not gonna make these exact, but I do want them to have enough length so that it's not uncomfortable to get to the interface, which is just right down here. So there's one. Hopefully I can get a bunch of cables that are roughly the same length out of this. I'm just going to measure them by how tall I am, because I'm about 6 foot tall. A little bit shorter, but I can pretend, right? And then this one actually is a little bit longer, which I think I want to have one that's maybe a little bit longer than the other two. So I'll keep that. Right. And I will start with this one that's already got the one end on it. So this one is really great for playing guitar because of the 90-degree angle on it, as opposed to just having two straight angle cables. You can plug the end with the straight angle on it into the amp, and then this is really great for coming around like through the strap of a guitar, and it is really low profile, I think is what they call it. So I'm going to get this set up and ready to go for soldering. Let's see. I'm going to try and get the cable to stay here. It's going to slide around a little bit, so I need to put the cable on the surface here. Get these things out of the way. This is not the best surface for soldering, but this is what I got. This is what I got. And I want to make sure that my helping hands here are as stable as possible. Man, these helping hands are like pretty key to a successful solder. I was soldering for a little while without these, and it's just impossible. Like, you got to hold all this stuff together. And I just want to make sure that these are going to reach okay before I get started on stripping my cable. Yeah, okay. All right. So, meanwhile, all right, got my wire strippers slash cutters slash wire multi-tool. And I want to get about an inch off of the jacket here to expose the wires within. So I was talking earlier about the length of the guitar cable and why you don't want a super long guitar cable, and it's because guitar and instrument cables are known as are what's called unbalanced. They send an unbalanced signal, and you know, it's not unbalanced like emotionally, but it is unbalanced in terms of the signal it's sending, because there's only one connector. There's only one wire inside these cables sending a signal, as opposed to a balanced cable, which has two wires and two connectors to send the signal. So when you only have one connector, you can get outside interference. This is all copper. It's sending signal via electromagnetic spectrum, and it can be interfered with. You can get a radio signal that can interfere with your guitar signal. I've picked up radio stations on my guitar amp in the past, which is kind of fun, actually, if you're not in the middle of recording or a concert. Oh, come on. This one's a stubborn boy. Get on off there now. So, anyway, one wire sending signal means potential higher potential for interference. When you have two, you can use the difference in the signals received to basically reconstruct the signal beyond any interference that it's gotten. And man, I don't know where I put my pliers, but I really need some pliers right now. It's not good practice to bite your cables, but here's what I got. Let's see if I can gently, without cutting. There we go. And when I get this off, you're going to notice that there are, in fact, two wires in here. And I know you're probably thinking, you just said there was only one. Well, in an unbalanced cable, there are two, because one has to be the ground wire. And that is traditionally the shielding, the copper shielding that goes around. Let's see if I can get this up close. You can see here, got my one lead here that's going to carry my signal, and then this copper wire that I've already twisted together is actually the shielding around the cable, and that is going to be our connection to ground. So, I didn't lie to you. And I need to remove... Oh, I don't actually need to remove all of this plastic housing here, just enough to attach to my connector. It's being very stubborn. Oh man, what a great stream. Watch man struggle to cut things. Okay, that should be enough. So, lost it. Oh, setting stuff down where I don't know where it is. What did I do with it? On the floor. Nope. Well, I lost it for now. It's around here somewhere. Good thing I've got more. Oh, and actually, this I just found it is the one that I cut off. It's still got the old cable in there. So I'm gonna save that one for later because I need to remove all of that junk before I can reuse this one. So let's find a clean one. Here we go. All right. And if I do just a quick dry run here, that looks like it's going to fit pretty well. Really, I just want to make sure that you can see, let me pull this back up, you can see how this is going to work. These bits here are going to clamp onto the cable, and I need to make sure that they clamp onto the jacket because this is metal, and I don't want any signal being transmitted excessively through this part of the connector. I just want my lead to connect here and my ground to connect here, and that's it. So I'm going to do a little bit of trimming to make it easier to get these to fit. And it looks like, actually, if I cut this little bit off and then remove this bit, sorry, you can't see what I'm doing. Derp. Put it back on that one. There's not enough room down here for me to cut in front of the camera. Oh, I can hear a kitty out there meowing about something. That's our cat Hermes. He's very vocal. Likes to tell us what's up. Unlike our other cat, Pan, who's still very much a kitten, not vocal at all. I think he had a cold when he was very young, before we adopted him, and I think it damaged his vocal cords, because he came in and gave the same cold to Hermes, and Hermes now has a scratchier voice than he ever has. Okay, that's much better. So put this down here. All right, you can see that this lead is going to attach here, and this one down here, and then I can clamp it around the rubber jacket. Sweet. Just make sure I'm twisting in the right direction. Okay. So one thing I want to do before I worry at all about... Oh, and I just found my other connector. It's still in the helping hands. Good. One thing that I want to do before I worry about soldering things together is I want to prep my cable leads by getting just a little bit of solder onto them, and it just makes everything easier when I go to do the actual soldering. So get this cleaned up a little bit and get all these random little bits of junk out of the way that I just clipped off. So another soldering accessory that I worked a long time without that I'm really glad that I have now is tip tinner. This helps just extend the life of your soldering tip. So you just take your solder tip and roll it around in there to tin the tip. You can see now it's all shiny. Maybe a little bit too much on there, but that's all right. So, okay, I've got my rosin core solder here. And now I can, yes, switch it down here. This has come a little bit off center. And I'm seeing that this is a little bit out of focus. Can I adjust the focus on this at all? I don't think it's going to let me. Nope, I can't do that in OBS. Sorry, guys. I might be able to pull it back just a little bit to hopefully help with the focus, but that's a little better. Okay. So, all right, Soldering 101. This is something that took me kind of an embarrassingly long time to learn about soldering, but in soldering, you want to heat the surface of what you want to solder. You don't want to heat the solder itself. So you're heating the surface and you want the solder to flow over the surface. Otherwise, if you make direct contact with the soldering iron, or as my friend Josh likes to say, soldering iron after Christopher Walken, you're just going to burn off your solder, waste a bunch. So, switch into right-handed. Derp. My right hand's a little bit shaky here. So you heat the wire, and if you've done it properly, this one's taking a little bit longer time to heat. You've done it properly, your solder will flow over the surface. It's not heating up very much. Let's try up here. That's a little better. Okay. Now, especially for this copper shielding, adding a little bit of solder beforehand is really going to help, because there's all these strands of wire that can get in the way and come loose, and it can be a mess. Okay, so be careful after you're done soldering anything, because the surface will remain very hot. And one thing I was going to mention before about connectors and leads is that, like I said, unbalanced signal means one connector, one lead for signal and one for ground. And I was going to mention that every electrical circuit needs ground. That's just the rules. If you're curious about why, Google it. I'm not going to go into it here. You need ground. You need to have a ground if you're dealing with electricity. Okay, so I like how that looks. And actually what I'm going to do now is just bend these guys out. These are the little part of the connector that is going to hold on to my cable. I'm going to bend these out, and then I'll bend them back once I have it in place. Feats of strength. Is that going to fit? Yes, it is. Great. Okay. So now comes the delicate part. I need to make sure that I get this right so that I don't have to go and redo it ever at all. I mentioned that before that I had a friend of mine do this soldering initially before I felt comfortable soldering. And I supplied him with the soldering iron, but I only had one tip for it, and the tip was just absurdly thick for this kind of work, and he was really frustrated, and I kind of laughed at his pain, which was not very good of me, but I understand now that it sucks soldering with tips that are not meant for soldering this kind of stuff. And now I'm just trying to bend these to get them to fit a little better. Soldering is one of those things that if you just take the time to prepare the little things beforehand, the whole thing, the whole end product is going to turn out way better. Okay, that's good. Yep. And, man, if this is interesting to anybody, I can work on some better camera angles for this kind of stream so that you can see more close up what I'm doing. I don't have a lot of space in my workstation here, but I also didn't want to spend a whole lot of time setting up for a stream that maybe nobody would be interested in. Okay. I'm going to get this in position here. And clamp on my little clampies. Okay. So that's looking pretty all right. I want to get this bent back a little bit more so that it comes in better contact with the cable lead. And in fact, I think I want to trim this back. I don't need that much exposed wire. So apart from these more engineering focused streams, I'd like to start doing some song creation streams. So if anybody's interested in that, let me know. Really, I just want to start making streams that are going to be compelling to watch. Okay, there's one. I'm going to solder that on before I do too much else with that. Getting back down to my helping hands. Helping hands, everybody. The real star of the show here. Helping hands. Okay. So what I want to do here is clean my tip off first, and then get this surface. Ooh, shaky. I haven't had anything to eat today yet, so got the coffee shakes. Heat this up and let this flow into here and onto my wire. Not bad. I think I could use a little bit more. Get a little bit better of a contact here. Come on. Come on. There we go. There we go. Okay. That looks good. What I don't want is a cold solder joint. Cold solder joint will not pass electricity. Okay. So this ground wire is going to be kind of tough. I don't know if you can see. It's going to be tight in there. It's going to be pretty tight. webcam so that I'm looking more into it. I end up looking at myself instead of at the camera, which I know looks weird. Oh, bye-bye camera. That's a little better. Ope, as they say. Ope. In the immortal words of Midwesterners everywhere. Ope. Let's see. Might have soldered myself into a corner here. I gotta bend. I'm gonna cut this a little bit shorter. Some of the guys that I work with basically like to make fun of anybody for everything possible, and have poked quite a bit of fun at my soldering abilities over the months. And I say, don't do that. It just discourages people from attempting something. I'm not terribly good at really fine close-up work in the first place, so I need all the support I can get, man. Yeah, that'll do it. I can just clump a bunch of solder in there. And one thing that I really love about... Oh, shit. I have just made a cardinal mistake in soldering. I've just done the worst possible thing you can do. Well, other than, burning yourself or setting something on fire when soldering, in that I have forgotten to put the other end of the connector on the cable. So how the hell am I supposed to get this on? I can't. Oh, man. So, all right. But there's a way around that, actually. Since this connector was already on there, I'm just going to take this one off and resolder it. And then I'll have a fresh cable. Super fresh. Right, Hermes? Super fresh. Yeah. And actually, I've just seen that these Amphenol connectors are really nice and are designed such that if I end up getting... Let me turn this back. If I end up getting some of the shielding stuck in here, this connects straight to the sleeve part of the connector. And if you don't know that terminology, this is called a TS connector, or tip sleeve. So tip and sleeve are the two parts that conduct. The tip carries the signal, the sleeve carries the ground, and this bit here is all connected to the sleeve, which is really nice. That saves a lot of hassle if there's a stray wire that touches this bit. Okay, so before I get too carried away, I'm gonna finish soldering the rest of this tip, or it's the sleeve now. I meant connector. Get in there. And I want it about right there so I can heat it up and get my solder in from the other angle. Okay. Heat this guy up. Heat. More heat. Get on in there now, solder. I'm touching the tip a little bit with the solder, which, I don't know, maybe that's just me being impatient. I want you to flow faster, solder. think that'll do. I'm gonna get a closer look at it. Little bit closer. Switch back to here. Yeah, I think that'll do it. All right. So now to rectify my terrible, terrible, terrible rookie mistake. Gonna remove this guy from over here. And to do that, I'm going to be using a special tool called a solder sucker. Now, aside from being dead useful, solder suckers are also just a lot of fun. And it does exactly what it sounds like it does. It sucks the solder from wherever it's soldered. Just got to heat it up, suck it out. So, back to close-up cam. Prep my solder sucker. And I just need to heat up the surface here. Get the solder nice and melted. Come on. Come on. It should definitely be hot enough to melt that. What's going on? Dirty tip? Yeah, dirty tip. Oh boy, that is not doing what I want it to. Come on. Melt. Melt. Also, my helping hands are moving around, which is not helping. Let's see if I got any there. Not really any at all. Okay. So what's going on here? Solder's not heating up. I really wish my helping hands would stop moving. What would be helpful is if I had some tape. Do I have tape? I think I have tape. Some kind of tape here. Let's see if I can tape this down. Yeah, much better. All right. It does prevent me from shifting it so that it looks good for the camera, but oh well. Oh well. Hey there to anybody watching. If you're watching on Twitch, I just recently changed my username to reflect my recording studio, so it's Epiphany Recording Studio now. And if you're watching on Facebook, hey, we probably know each other. And if you're watching on YouTube, hey, also, we probably don't know each other, but I'm glad you're here. And man, this solder is just relentlessly not melting. There we go. Okay, I can see it melting a little bit there. And we're gonna suck. Hey! I don't know if you can see that hole open up, but I got some solder. And did I get enough to get that wire out? I don't think so. So let's heat again. And hopefully get any other solder in there, holding that down. I'm going to have to pry that guy out of there, I think. Let's see. Back to webcam. Ooh, hot. Hot, hot, hot. Always be careful when you're soldering because shit is hot. Alright, let's see if I can get this guy out of here. It looks like maybe there's still a little bit of solder. Yeah, there is. It's still a little stuck. But it might not be stuck enough to where I can't get it off. But I need a better tool. I need something more like this. Small, pliable, workable. Something that doesn't get in the way. Sounds like traits of a good husband. Oh man. You know, if worst comes to worst, I can probably just clip this off and use a different connector. Now, the worst possible thing that could happen right now in this stream is if I cut this off, use a different connector, and forget again to put the the other part on. That would literally be the worst thing. And this is taking long enough to where I think that's what I want to do. So, not the forgetting part, but the cutting off the connector. So we're going to have a fresh cable. Super fresh. Super duper fresh. And man, these are not the best wire stripper cutters. Stuff's getting stuck. Stuck on there. Okay. So let's do about what I did last time. Give myself an inch off the jacket. Cable jacket for when a cable gets cold now. Cable jacket. Okay. I'm gonna get the here, I can do this down in the close-up, right? So I want to take all of this shielding, get this out of the way. Oh boy, it's kind of gooey in there. Eef. Twist that up. And I gotta trim some of this back. Knowing what I know now about these connectors, I'm not gonna be as picky with what I trim off. So Amphenol connectors, highly recommended. Don't skimp out on your electrical / electronics parts. They're super cheap anyway. You know, you can pick these up for, I don't know, $4 a pop. Easy peasy. Okay, now, there's already one on here. I'm gonna take that off, because this guy belongs to someone else. Next, this is the, I'll do this on the close-up too. This is just a little plastic tube that helps keep the wires from contacting the inside of the sleeve here. And forgive me if I'm not using all of the correct nouns for some of this stuff. I'm really terrible at remembering nouns. Which sounds weird, I know, but I guess I'm not a verbal learner. This is going to be tough getting. Sorry, I'm not even in front of the camera. I'm a terrible streamer. There we go. That wasn't too bad. Okay. Just have to rewind those. Retwist. All right. Now, I can take this all the way to the end. Slide that over what I've already soldered. I need to, where'd my tool go? I need to bend this in just a little bit so it'll fit inside the plastic sleeve. And we're taking this guy all the way up here, and with a little twisty, screwy action, we have, a finished connector. Woo! All right, there's one. That should have been all for this cable, but I'm an idiot, so I can't even actually tell you how many times I've made the mistake of forgetting to put the other end of the connector on the wire. I'm like so eager to do the damn soldering that I forget frequently. It's so dumb. But, you know, there you have it. How many times am I going to make this mistake before I don't make it anymore? I don't know. Maybe I'm going to make it forever, for all time. Okay, and before I make that mistake a second time, I'm going to get these guys on here. All right. Now we're cooking with brain power. There we go. Oh boy. These need to be just retwisted a little bit. This is a big time ope. Big time ope day. Ope-a-dope. All right. So this is actually going to be just a straight-to-straight connector cable, which is fine. You know, having a 90-degree plug is a luxury. Oh, I don't have a 90-degree plug on my cable. Oh, it's so bad. I have first world musician problems. Whatever. So now, yeah. Now that I know that I can stand to have this shield touch the inside here, I'm gonna make this a little bit easier on myself, and I'm gonna shove this through there and bend it around. I'm trying to like look to make sure this is on camera and do the thing at the same time. Okay. And let's see, I want to just gotta bend these guys out again. I thought maybe I could fit these smaller bits in there, but no sir. Okay. Yeah, and then I want these guys clamped so that nothing moves around. Clamp 1, clamp 2. Okay. And then really what I need to make sure is that the ground, the shield, and the might have just boxed myself in here. I need to make sure that the shield and the lead here are not touching one another. So let's see, can I shove this a little bit further up? Yes, I can. Now, to do this super proper, I should be trying to fit this lead into this little hole here. And I don't know. We'll see. Like I said, I am not good at super duper fine work like this. So let's see if I can even do this. I don't know. That's not turning out well. I'm just flattening it. Struggles with solder. Struggles with solder. So actually, yeah, I want that around the outside. I'm gonna do this one first, and then I'm gonna do the shield so that I can be sure that nothing is coming into contact. Okay. Oh, here comes the wife, it sounds like. Maybe? Nope. I'm gonna do a little bit. I was gonna do a little bit more tip tinning, but I think it's okay. Okay. So I want to heat from this side, I think. Yep. You guys can see that. Heat that up. This heat has to spread outwards from point of contact. So it takes a little bit of time, but it shouldn't be taking this much time. What's happening? There we go. That's flowing nicely, kind of. Okay, that looks like it's on there pretty good. Yeah. Okay. Now, yeah, based on how I was able to get this lead on there, I'm gonna do the shielding around here on the outside, and I'm gonna clip it actually because it's too damn long. Too gosh darn damn long. So just clip. Oh, what do I want? About a 1/4 inch off of there. Oh, come on, wire cutters, get it off. Almost there. Come on, man. These are really crappy. I thought, man, I bought Klein tools because I thought they were good, and so far my experience with this particular tool has not been good. All right, that's looking better. I can wrap that around there, and it's already in contact with it down here, but I want to make sure that this doesn't come loose at any point and come into contact with anything that it shouldn't. Because then, you know, I could be in the middle of recording or just having fun, and the cable could stop working because the shield comes into contact with the lead. And that's not fun. Then the fun stops. The fun stops. I tell you. Okay. Yeah, that's flowing pretty nicely. Get a little bit more solder on there. Yeah, there we go. A little bit more even, I think. Oh no. No, that worked. Okay. Okay. Let's come back out of close-up mode and quick look at that. It looks pretty good. All right. So now I'm going to take my little plastic sleeve. I'm going to wait on this because it's still probably pretty hot, and I do not want to melt this plastic. It's still kind of hot. Stream name, Watchman blow on copper wire. These could stand to be bent in just a little bit. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. And I've just noticed something. I want to make sure that there's this little metal part that sticks out from the sleeve portion of the connector, and I really want to make sure that that doesn't come into contact with the lead wire. So I'm going to bend that back. Just a wee bit, yeah. There we go. Okay. Plastic on. Got my other end on. Yeah, okay. Oh, and a little twisty, screwy action. Come on. Oh. This one's giving me a lot of trouble. No, I don't want to use pliers on it. Ooh. There we go. All right. Hey, we've got a finished, short, reasonably lengthy guitar cable. Look at that. No more 25-foot guitar cables, because remember, that's absurd. Don't ever do that. Okay, and I think I know a way that I can test this. Let's see, I've got... Let's see if this is going to come up. Nope, it did not. There we go. Got my guitar plug in here. Make that a little bit bigger. Cover up this gross, ugly... Yeah, I'm not going to call you that. You're a beautiful microphone. I love you. I love you, microphone. And we're going to test this puppy out. So let's see. I need to make sure that I'm on the right input. Input 2. And grab my guitar. One moment. Hello. Okay. Moment of truth. One end into the guitar. Other end into the interface. Oh. Hey. Let's see. You guys can't hear that, it looks like, because desktop audio is down and also not working. But let's see. Okay, but it's coming through there. Okay. I think you guys can hear this. I don't know what side to be on. There we go. That's better. right. Sick. Dude, we got a cable. We got a working cable. Amazing. Wow. So that whole thing took about an hour. I'm not going to do any more cables today. I'll do them later. Maybe if I have good feedback for this stream, I'll do another cable soldering stream. I guess we can call these solder stream of solder. And I really would like to start doing some song creation streams where I do a song from start to finish, maybe over the course of a week, and that'll be in tandem with like my practice streams, which I need to start doing again. So yeah, let me know if you see this. If you've been watching, shoot me a message, comment on the stream. If you're on Facebook, hey, what's up? If you're on Twitch, also, hey, what's up? I'm going to probably be doing most of my streaming on Twitch in the future. So hit me up there. And if we know each other, you can hit me up on Facebook. We're probably Facebook friends. So for now, I'm out. Thank you so much to everybody that tuned in to watch. I love you guys. Stay safe out there. Congrats if you got a vaccine. That's awesome. There we go. I'm going to take this off so you can see me. And